that the monsoon out of Arizona?
That dust cloud?
The haboob?
Yep. Haboob?
They call it the haboob.
That thing's fucking weird.
That's why you don't live in the South.
God damn right.
Shit'll fuck you up.
I don't live any place that'll give me a haboob or poisonous animals.
A fucking sinkhole. Sinkhole, stinkhole.
Fuck yeah. Goddamn sinkholes.
They get you every time.
Oh, they do. They really do.
Well, should we just start the show?
Might as well.
Alright. Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair. Brought to you by Jake.
And Sam.
Alright, this is the newest edition. Bad intro.
13th? We're at the Bakers?
Yeah, we are finally at the Bakers. Yes! No banner yet, as you can see.
Nope, no banner.
But whatever.
We'll get the banner people on that. Do we have banner people yet?
Well, technically, I do sell banners.
Yeah.
I do sell promotional products, so I guess that is... I dropped the ball once again.
Yep. All right, so I got to get the Jakes on that.
Yeah. Get the Jakes on that.
I'm going to have to crack the whip here pretty soon.
So, big news. I guess we're invading Syria.
Yeah, you know. We just can't stop fucking with other people.
Hey, but you know me. It's all a part of a grand scheme. General Wesley Clark was brought into the Pentagon before 9/11, and they distinctively named 7 countries that they were going to overthrow in the next 10, 15 years. And god damn it, 3 of them are already come true.
We are making good time, though.
We are.
I mean, if you're talking about 10 to 15 years, I mean... You know, we were in Iraq for quite some time, but...
Afghanistan for what now? 12 years?
I'm just saying, I don't understand how they haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet, but...
Hey, the war is never meant to end.
No.
The war is perpetuate.
Well, that's what they make money on.
Exactly. I mean, the first time, with the whole chemical weapons
Yeah.
thing, I don't know, but I just saw photos of the chemical weapons containers. They were produced in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And last I remember, Saudi Arabia was kind of an ally of ours, not so much Syria. But who am I to say?
Yeah, well, if you're making chemical weapons and selling them, you really can't be too picky on who buys them, because it's not like a lot of countries are in the market right now.
Yeah, the U.S. is.
Like we don't have millions of gallons of our own.
Well, then they can trace it back to us.
Whatever.
Duh. Everybody knows every specific terrorist group or nation has their specific flavor of nerve gas they like to use.
And when did that ever stop the U.S.?
That is...
We have never cared except for one fucking time, and that was just because they didn't want the Ruskies to think that it was... Who cares? Nobody ever gives a fuck if it was us. We throw bombs like they're nothing.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that anybody's like, oh, this came from the U.S. Really?
Well, yeah,
you had to take all that time and money to scientifically prove that it came from them when you could have asked the dude down the street and he would have been like, the U.S. dropped it?
You could ask most people on the street and they'd be like, what the fuck?
I'm going to put it to you this way. If a bomb gets dropped in the middle of Russia and you could go down to the Amazon rainforest and ask some dude that's in the middle of it, so who do you think dropped it? He'd probably be like, oh, U.S.? Like, it would just be the first instinct on who drops bombs. U.S.?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like anybody's going to...
Yeah. So I guess the real question I kind of want to pry out of you is, do you believe that Assad actually used chemical weapons on his own people? Or do you believe it's more of like the rebels did it via...
To martyr their own cause?
And via the West, which is controlling the rebels, which are known Al-Qaeda. So basically we're supporting Al-Qaeda in Syria, but yet fighting against them in Afghanistan. Which I don't quite understand, but hey, we all know Al-Qaeda is CIA-da. But whatever. So do you think that he actually did it himself, even though he came out and said, why would I do this? This doesn't make any logical sense as to why I would mortar civilians when we pretty much are winning the war against these rebels anyway?
You know what? In that instance, you really can't take anybody for their word. I mean...
John Kerry or Assad?
Fucking... I believe both of them the same.
Which is none.
Well, if you're going to be talking about those two guys in general, I'm just going to put it to you this way. I look at them like being middle management. They know half the plans that were told from them up top, and then they know a quarter of the plans that were actually taken care of in the field. Because they got some dude that skims over the goddamn reports as they come into him, and he sums them up to Kerry. So he really only gets like a quarter of the information coming from down low, and from above he's only getting half the information. I think all of them are like that. Well, not all of them. The majority of leaders throughout the world are like that to begin with. I mean, the militaries that are... The only ones that aren't really like that are the dictators and, shit like that.
Yeah, because they have nobody that's going to brief them on it. They'll just hear half the story and be like, nah, answer doesn't change. Fucking bomb them.
Well, the one thing that I can say about the United States, that it's kind of comical that more people don't actually know this, and they think it's just Hollywood shit when they start talking about movies, is the military does operate a lot outside of what Congress or the president or any of these fucking any of these guys know. Or one thing that's the basis of it is presidency lasts 4 years.
Yes.
There's some of these guys that have been in the military for 60 years. I mean, generals don't just come in and they're like, I'm going to make you general.
Yeah.
I mean, they work their shit up through it. So they've already been in it for quite some time. You don't just give this information all willy-nilly to anybody who just fucking, hey, look, you won an election. Here's our biggest secret. You don't do that kind of stuff.
Because you can be ousted in a year.
Exactly.
If you do something really stupid and get impeached.
Not only that, but with the fucking budget that our military actually has.
Yeah.
How do you not have black ops where nobody knows about them except for you?
That is true.
You know what I mean? If you're the fucking... If you're the dude, the highest dude in the army, and you're the guy that fucking doles out the budgeting, right, like you're not going to go, you know what, we're just going to keep this one down here, and we'll say that's our rainy day fund and just keep it on the books, but actually spend it.
That's where your $10,000 toilets come from.
Or what was it, $2 billion that was, I don't know where that went. It was just sitting right here in Iraq in this trailer, and now it's gone. I swear, that was on the inventory when I did it last night. Somebody must have come in and taken that. I don't know who it was, though.
Wasn't it Ice Cube and Mark Wahlberg and George Clooney? I thought I saw this documentary.
Are you talking about the A-Team?
No. Wasn't it Three Kings?
Oh, yeah.
No, was it Ice
he
Cube?
He took Saddam Hussein's shit. He didn't steal billions of dollars from us.
Where did Saddam get it? It's American currency. He had to get it from America.
He got that from the oil that he sold America. He got a lot more than that just by selling the oil to America. That motherfucker had a solid gold toilet, for God's sake. I mean, seriously. If you got... That's like being Trump stupid, but the difference is he had like 7 or 8 of those palaces that all had the same shit in them like that. I just don't understand why you would want to shit on solid gold.
Why would you shit on anything less if you were godlike man?
Because I would just shit on people. My toilet would just be like a balcony that has a hole in it, and somebody would be like, all right, here's my punishment.
It's my turn.
Yep.
I see, for me, my head instantly went to like Circus D'Olay, the contortionists, where they actually make a toilet seat out of people, and you're sitting there, you're shitting, and you just pull some one guy's like leg, and it flushes, and it's just some dude at the bottom like, nom, 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 nom.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's where my mind instantly went, was Circus D'Olay.
Oh, you got to work your way up, man.
you're like, I'm a dictator of a third world country. I'm just starting out. All I'm going to give myself is a hole in a deck.
A hole in a deck. That's what I'm saying. And then just, if you speak ill against me, you got to take your turn under the fucking hole. That's how dictators do it, asshole. Whoa. What'd you say about me? Under the deck.
Under the deck.
I'm just saying. I could just see that. You better hope your turn isn't the beer shits day.
Oh. And with your diet, it's
mostly the beer shits day.
Chances are pretty good. It's not so much giving you shat on as shit misted on.
Oh, the best part about that though is that would be like the punishment for speaking bad about me, but they would have such a good story after that, being like, yeah, I know, I was getting shit on, but it was hilarious the whole time he was going, spicy!
Those wings were so nice, they burnt me twice. You gotta bring an ice cube with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's terrible.
Maybe you could just give him like a squirt gun underneath. They could just squirt it up. There you go. It's like a little bidet, one little at a time.
Thank God you're not a dictator.
I know. Some fucking things I would come up with.
Anybody with any sorts of power. Any sorts of power.
It would instantly go to my head, too.
Yeah.
I would kill so many people just being like, ha ha ha. My pizza was more than 30 minutes.
Over the most trivial thing. Could you imagine just walking through like a huge epicenter of people and being like a dictator like that, and just you wouldn't have to wait for anything. You go to like Starbucks.
That's not even close to the power that a lot of them had. Like, what was it? Saddam Hussein's son used to fucking like go to high schools and shit like that and just grab chicks that were walking out of the high school, just literally abduct them, take them back to a palace, rape them for a couple of days, and then just bring them back and drop them off on the same sidewalk that he found them on. And I mean, this was commonplace for that douchebag. I can't remember. They made a movie about him.
Yeah, the Devil's Double.
Yeah. I wanted to see how much of that was actual factual and shit like that, so I looked into it a little bit, and there was a couple of different websites that talked about the regime that he was, and oh my god, that guy was pure fucking evil.
Yeah, didn't he like brutalize and torture the Iraqi soccer team when they didn't perform well?
Yeah, he fucking
or some shit.
Yeah. He tied him up and hit him with cattle prods, and the one guy, he ended up actually putting electrodes to his balls, and I mean, just the sheer brutality of that guy and just audacity of some of the shit that he pulled. What was it? There was one of his body doubles ended up cutting like their pinky or something like that, where it lopped off at the first knuckle. So he shot the dude in the head. This is like, oh, you can't be my body double anymore. Bam! Just shot him in the fucking head.
But I don't.
Instead of being like, well, thanks for working for me.
Well, you can't let somebody out there that knows all those secrets.
Like he was told anything. His whole job was go stand out on that balcony and see if somebody shoots at you. I mean, it's not like they had him in at the meetings or anything like that.
Well, maybe he was a really good body double, and Uday was just super lazy. He's like, yeah, just go to this meeting, brief me later.
Exactly.
You know, like
just don't say much.
Yeah.
Why?
High pitched.
Yeah, exactly.
British accent.
Yeah.
Uday, how are you doing? Hello. I'm doing great.
But see,
how about them Kurds?
But see, now that comes back to the point that if it was me, you could have that kind of body double and still nobody would talk about it because they didn't want to get shit on. Nobody'd be like, dude, did he have that high of a voice last time? No, don't shut the fuck up. I get pissed on just by listening to this.
I didn't say it. He just pisses on people for hearing blasphemous slander. You run a tight ship.
Either that or they just grab some and just fling some shit at him and be like, no, that's what you get.
That's what you get.
I did that, remember? Looking at everybody else around. Yeah, he was the one talking shit, so I shit on him.
So I shit on him.
Yeah, but I don't know. That Uday guy was fucking evil. Just pure evil.
Yeah.
In one of the websites that I was reading, it was estimated one time that he had actually kidnapped and raped over 200 women.
Damn, that's almost like Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Yeah, well, that's just what he kidnapped and raped.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the ones that he used to actually rape at his parties. He used to have those huge parties at some of the palaces, and he would literally lock the doors so people couldn't leave. And he would just go through the party and be like, you, over here.
That's fucked.
How the fuck would that be? You bring your wife to a party at the palace and you're going, oh my god, we finally arrived. only to find out the only reason that you guys were invited is because you wanted to fuck your wife, and he's going to do it. And if you say anything about it, you get shot in the head, and he's still going to fuck your wife.
Exactly.
How the fuck? I mean, seriously, how did that family stay in power for so long?
Because they were that brutal. And the Americans propped them up for quite a long time.
And I suppose it doesn't hurt that fucking Saddam Hussein had like 20-some sons. So you look at it and you go, fine, if I kill him, there's still 19 in a row. You know? Didn't Saddam kill a couple of his... Oh, no, that was his son-in-laws, I guess.
Well, they're expensive.
Because he killed like 2 of his daughter's husbands for speaking out against him. Yeah, that whole family was just fucked up, man. But there was a couple of them that shined as just the brutal assholes, and O'Day was definitely one of them.
Oh, yeah. That's what you get when you just have no accountability and all the
None whatsoever.
Nobody's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You just become psychotic.
See, at least if I was a dictator, at first anyway, most of my stuff would just be childish enough to be like, oh, he shit on you again? Really? When is I gonna get to fucking stop shitting on people? You know, it wouldn't be that. It would be a minor inconvenience, yeah. Maybe a bad time if you had your mouth open or something, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't be to the point of like he fucking raped you for 3 days and then just threw you out of the car.
That would be after about 3 years.
Well, 3 years. Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
I was going to give myself 6 months.
I'll give you some credit.
Actually, if I was a dictator, I'd probably be overthrown in about 6 months.
Yeah.
Just be like, we are sick of this shit.
Yeah, the previous ruler's blood would not even dried on the palace floor before it went to your head.
I told you there'd be change.
There's fucking change, sir.
And I lied. But that's the cool part. If you're a dictator, you can just come out and say that. Yeah, I fucking lied. Sucks to be you guys now.
No shit.
I got the army.
I changed my mind. What the fuck are you going to do about it? You have no guns. I got all the guns.
See this button right here?
Yeah, just touching it ever so gently.
Yep.
Like, and it has that little bit of give, like most buttons do. It goes down a little bit, so you just sit there fucking with it like a little bit. Just tabbing it. People are just like, what the fuck is he doing? He's going to spasm and destroy us all.
Yeah, exactly. I only heard it beep once and it shit my pants. I wasn't even on my deck. No, I think that would be absolutely fun for a couple of days, but it would probably get really old.
Well, because all these people would come to you with their minute and just ridiculous problems and grievances, and you'd just be like, I signed up for this to fuck virgins and to tell people what to do, not to answer people's questions and to solve world crises.
Yeah.
It would get old quick.
Well, and then all the stupid shit that you would have to do, like other leaders of the world would
want to meet you.
Yeah.
Then you have to go have dinner at the White House with the treason that currently resides.
I would do that, and that would be the fun part. Is I would like have some outlandish request that they serve something.
Like, my national dish is.
Yeah.
What? Like,
I
what
don't
would
know.
Come up with something on the spot.
Barbecued dolphin. Ooh. Just so it would piss the people off and be like, they ate dolphin.
Bald eagle.
It's this tuna-free dolphin.
Don't eat the tuna, by the way, I hear. It's radioactive like a motherfucker from that, those nuclear power plants in Japan.
Oh, yeah?
That got all fucked up.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the newest thing I heard. Is
I
stay
don't
away
like
from
tuna.
that fucking cat food. Oh, isn't tuna cat food, really?
I really don't like tuna.
It's not bad if you make it with, like, some pasta. Throw in some cold tuna salad pasta.
I really just don't like the taste of it.
It's fishy as a motherfucker. I prefer real fish.
Real fish? Like that's just... What, is it like a cat in a fish costume or something? What the fuck do you mean by real fish?
What, tuna?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of them are huge.
Well, I'm just saying, with everything in this country, that ain't 100% tuna.
No.
I'd be shocked.
Nothing's really 100% of anything.
Well, if you... Well, if you get the fish out of a fucking lake and fillet it.
Oh,
there's a fillet.
I thought you were talking about stuff to buy.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. If I'm purchasing something, you can pretty much guarantee you're not going to get 100% of anything. Unless it's fruit. But then it's GMO fucking fruit. Or veggies. There's no escaping it, sir.
And even if you get the organically grown, it's still the same shit just grown in China, so they just pay the stupid little fine as they ship it over. In fact, I think that's kind of just, they pay the fine as they're shipping it, being like, all right, well, here's the import tax, and here's when you're going to find out that this isn't organic, and you're going to fine us for that. And it's just hilarious on how they do that shit. Like, what was it? Halliburton, when they did that whole thing in the deep sea, or the
BP.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they got fined.
Halliburton just got the harshest fine that the government could give them, and it was like $300,000.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? They made that in half a day
Yeah.
off that one fucking oil rig.
Yeah, they probably made that in 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, what was that when J.P. Morgan Chase got fined, and it was something like
Oh, God, yeah.
yeah, it was something like $65 million, and then when they finally did the counting on that, being like, well, they make that back in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like a lot of money until you actually realize how much money that fucking place goes through every day.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and go, really? So that wasn't even their payroll for the day?
Yeah, I mean, and they're sitting there, they keep track of like millionths of the cent.
Yeah.
Like, they are meticulous money changers.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a religious man, but I'm waiting for Jesus to go in there and kick them all out.
Oh, God. You know, for those of us that don't actually have a faith in a divine entity or a supreme being of any kind like that, well, that would have divinity or anything.
Basically, the way I like to put it is I don't subscribe to any description of God that I've heard or thought of myself. So that's why I can't.
Well, I don't.
Because there has to be.
I'm just going to take it one step further.
Something
There is
out
no
there.
God.
Well, see, that's the where you get nailed in semantics, because I agree with you 100%, but yet there's a part of me that's like, ew, there's got to be some, maybe not even like, that's the thing is there's nothing that's been described to me which I believe could even come close to comprehending what it is that's actually out there, so I could never subscribe to a word called God. But what people are trying to explain and understand, I think there's some grain of truth or something out there that we're trying to, kind of sum up in our lack of knowledge and words. But from what I've heard from what everybody else of their descriptions of God or what I can imagine, it just could be, it pales in comparison probably what it is.
Wow. I've known you for a very long time, and I just gotta say this. I just had, like, the deepest sense of pity and feeling sorry for your mom when she had to explain to you there was no Santa Claus. Because if you put that much thought into something like, well, I don't think it's there, but then there's this thing, and then the way that you just explained that, it's like, holy shit, man.
Well, because it's so complicated.
Not to me.
You're just like, there's nothing there.
No.
But
life is not as special as people portray it to be. It happened as a mutation of a mutation of a mutation, and oh my God, it happened. Like, I'm not saying it's not special. I'm just saying we weren't carved in the image of a supreme entity, and he's got all powers, and he created everything.
Look at all the lives that are created and destroyed in a single day without a thought. Otherwise, so your point is valid, but what I kind of like to envision is maybe we're just fractals of a singular consciousness. So we all are basically of one entity and one thing, namely God, if you have, which I hate to use that term because unlike you, I'm an agnostic. Unlike you, I should say. You're more
atheist
of an
with no balls.
True. But see, that's what I believe, maybe it's not so much as like life itself, like the individual is not that sacred because it is, like I said, fractals. It would be the best way I can equate it to.
So you're doing the Gandhi thing. This is not a flower. It's the entire universe pretending to be a flower.
See, and I subscribe more to like an LED light board scenario. When an individual LED dies or goes out, the scoreboard or Megatron picture board does not go out entirely. It's just that little bit. So what, maybe us individuals are just the individual light emitting diodes, if you will, of consciousness. And when our vessel dies out, it doesn't kill the consciousness that has inhabited it. It just gets transferred into a completely different vessel once they remove it and change it with something else.
Wow, we really digressed on that one.
But I mean, it's an interesting topic to get into.
Oh, it is
nonetheless.
Something, yeah.
But what do you think to that extent? Is that just a whole bunch of malarkey?
It's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just deeper thought into the same thing that everybody else is subscribing to. It's just not making the mind up. Because to me, that's saying, well, I like the idea of an entity or a supreme being or an office, but I can't put my mind on one of them, so I'm just going to say it's an unknown. Whereas I can't subscribe to that. It's well, you know me, I'm a black or white person. It's got to be yay or nay, and it's definitely nay. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to ask me if something created all of this and knew how it was going to turn out and all that bullshit, that's what I'm going to say it is. There's no fucking man in the sky going, I know exactly what's going to happen.
I agree with you on that.
It's absolutely bullshit to think that, especially if you're going to read the Bible for what it is, that he gave us free will and then knows what's going to happen. Those two terms right there are absolutely, ironically, completely. It's like trying to push two negative sides of a magnet together. It just can't happen.
But to be devil's advocate, I want to put this out, that what I find hilarious with believers and hardcore atheists is, like you just said, you take the Bible as literal falsehood, while the other side takes it as literal truth.
Well, I don't take it as literal falsehood. I take it as a book of morals that you can pick and choose from on what you want.
The Old Testament is a hardcore old school survival guide.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it this way. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's completely bullshit, because every single different society that the world has ever spawned had their differences in the same stories.
Yeah, I mean, the
Native Americans told the exact same stories. It just 100%. Happened with the wolf, the bear, the moon, the sun. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, pagans, they still teach the exact same thing that was here before Christianity was.
Yeah, and even ancient Egyptian is what is that, the story of like Horus?
Yeah,
like that's the exact story of Jesus.
Well, and if you look at the way Anubis falls to being the underworld god, it's the same way as how Satan fell to becoming the devil.
Everything's just co-opted, because I think it started out as a singular story of people trying to explain the unexplainable, and then they used metaphors and these characters to kind of make it relatable to the average person.
Yeah.
And then, like, the stories evolved. But then, of course, when, like, that fucking movie Ricky Gervais did, The Invention of Lying.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Brilliant.
Beautifully done.
And then as soon as somebody realized they could harness the power of that to their own gain, fucking brakes are off. All of a sudden, 3,000 years later, here we are.
As far as I'm concerned, the first religion was made by the first conman.
Conman? Nice.
I mean, it just seems to be the way that you can do everything. You can make people do exactly what you want. You can take their money. You can take their land. You can take their freedoms. You can take everything on them. You can even take their fucking life.
Exactly.
And everybody's okay with it because God said so.
Oh, that is 100% true, because I can't remember who said it, but they just summed it up brilliantly, where they said, the only way you can get a decent person to do something extremely horrible is with religion.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way you could get a rational, sane, caring individual to do something so fucking horrendous that would make your skin crawl if it had not been for the guy's religion. Nation states do not elicit that kind of fucking pride and rage. National sports teams outside of Europe do not.
I don't know. I'm going to say that one down in Brazil where the fucking ref stabbed the dude and then they beheaded and quartered him.
Dude, that was brutal.
Football.
Football.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty badass shit. No, I'm just going to say the greatest cause of invention is necessity, and the greatest necessity that people have ever had is what happens when we die.
Yeah, and for an invisible hand of justice, because the world is so unfair and it's so unjust.
Yeah,
and the bad people get away with fucking everything.
Yeah, so there had to be some kind of a balance to it. So if you tell the people that are actually playing by the rules, oh, no, don't worry.
Get theirs.
Yep. The last shall be first.
And I think that mindset might even have been cultivated and encouraged by the ruling elites throughout time. Because isn't that a beautiful way to quell the raging masses of sheep? As say, no, don't uprise. Do not take your land and property back. God will make sure they are taken care of. So you don't have to do anything. Just keep toiling
until
away.
That's happened. I mean, even when you look at Rome and when you look at England, I mean, there was different kings that would rule, and they would literally say, all right, well, the kingdom's religion is changing.
That is true.
I mean, Christianity, you know how that fish started out? That stupid little overhook, underhook fish that you see on the bumper stickers and shit?
Yeah, the whatever. What do they even call that? The Jesus fish.
Yeah. But or the fish of Christ or something like that. That's why it actually has Christ written in the middle of some of them.
I like the one with
how that was actually made was back in the time when Rome didn't have any use for Christianity other than to put them in the fucking arena and have them mauled by lions and shit.
Yeah.
That was how two Christians communicated that they were Christians together. One of them would draw the upper and the other one would draw the lower with their sandals in the sand, and that's how they knew they were both Christians. And then when somebody else would come by, they would just brush it off so that nobody saw it.
And what if you did that to somebody who wasn't a Christian? Do they think you're hitting on them? Where you're like, hi.
Well, just put it to you this way: if you drew a line in the sand like that with somebody that didn't know what you were talking about, they would just be like, "What the fuck are you doing there, Bob?"
Or you could just be like fucking around, kicking rocks.
Yeah.
But that's what I was like. If you just sitting there like, with your head, like flirting with them with your footsie with your hey,
just like. Pointing my toe at you. I'm just saying.
Do you like
Jesus? I mean,
Jesus.
that shit happened all the time, though, where Rome was finally just going, you know what? All these gods are getting a little annoying. Let's just sum them up into one.
Just let's get this
What
done.
the fuck you mean there's 3 parts? Yeah, so confusing.
So confusing.
No, I don't know. It all just makes way too much sense on how it's just a way to make people sheep.
But that is 100% true. But what I try to comprehend is the nugget of what they originally.
Nuggets.
The stink nugget. I want to get down to the stink nugget. Of it. I want to taste it. I want to smell it. I want to make
roll it on my tongue a little bit.
Twirling my fingers.
Rather nutty.
Just like most religious people.
Yep.
A little nutty and smell like shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing doesn't quite stand out with me. I'm just not.
It is.
Well, I have said this 100 times. You've heard it a million times, I guess. I shouldn't say 100 times because I've said it more than that, I'm pretty sure, in my lifetime. Anyway, for anybody who hasn't heard this, when I talk to somebody who is religious, I always ask them, so do you still believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy? Well, I just gave up one more fictional character than you did.
Exactly.
So, anytime some religious that asks me, well, how can you be atheist? Because I don't think there's a fat man in a red suit that shimmies down my chimney and leaves a present under a tree once a year.
And if there is, I think NSA should be on his ass.
That's what I'm saying. That guy knows some shit.
And he's got some goddamn alien technology where he can go around the fucking world, and he specifically knows who the Christians are.
Yeah.
And he can nail them all in one night. That is impressive.
I know.
And I love how NORAD can track, Santa, but can't track the hijackers on 9/11.
Took us 10 years to find Bin Laden, but they knew we're one dude that was faster than the speed of light was.
Exactly.
Oh, he's flying over the East Coast right now. What the fuck?
Or he just hit Islamabad.
What
the fuck? There ain't no what the fuck? Because you ever watch that on Christmas Eve where they have them over in the Middle East and shit?
It's ridiculous.
What, the 3 Christians that didn't kill in Egypt?
Yeah.
These 3 presidents, too?
Oh, that would be an awesome sitcom line. Like, he's over the Middle East right now. Why is he over there? They don't need any more coal. They got a bunch of oil.
I like that because it works on so many levels.
I know.
He goes, "Why would they get cool? Because they're fucking evil. They're good little boys and girls." That's terrible. What did Santa bring you for Christmas, little Pakistani boy? A predator drone.
I got a bomb shelter. Gonna get a lot of use out of that, Timmy. I don't know why there's a boy named Timmy in the Middle East, but we'll just let that one slide.
It's short for Tamaroon.
Yeah, exactly. That's just what I call him because I can't pronounce his name. Oh, I can feel the letters coming in already.
Yep, exactly. You can tweet us at RedChairTales.
Oh, that's right. We got one of them.
Follow us on Twitter. It's just basically the field complaints.
Nobody's there to read them.
And nobody's listening to complain anyway.
Oh, well. Hey, if somebody does, we will say your tweet, I guess.
Yeah.
That'll make you famous.
Yeah, make you famous. We'll answer your Twitter questions.
I don't want to answer questions.
Yeah, because the question will be like, who are you guys?
Why do you guys continue to do this?
And how are you on episode 13 with nobody listening?
Oh, see, and everybody would know that if we had a fucking banner, because then we'd be somebody. You ain't somebody till you get a banner.
Does the banner have to have glitter?
I gotta get some of those little fucking confetti poppers. 14.
Next.
Oh, that was great. I'll clean that up. I should have done it because I had the vacuum right here. God, we really didn't think this one through.
No, we didn't. Not at all.
See, maybe that's why nobody will listen to this shit. We jumped from a serious conversation about religion to how we need a fucking banner again.
That's how you tie it together,
I know. Sir. God has a banner. Maybe that's why he's so popular. But it always says Leaky Roof Fund.
Should we get off the whole religion side?
I think so.
All right. So did you see in the news the Battle of the Sexes tennis match? Remember that back in the day? Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs was like in the 70s.
I did not know that.
Or the Riggs, whatever, huge chauvinist champion tennis player.
Okay.
I guess it's still the highest or the most attended tennis match in America still. More people attended this tennis match than any other tennis match ever in America.
That doesn't really surprise me because this is probably about the point where everybody was going, this game is just as boring as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but I can't believe you never heard about that. They had made a movie, but it was pretty much a publicity stunt where this Bobby Riggs just played like a huge chauvinist, almost like a WWE character, where he just, even when he walked out onto the court, he was wearing like a warm-up suit that said like Sugar Daddy on it. He was sponsored by, remember that candy, Sugar Daddies? And he had a giant like Sugar Daddy and all this. And she even came out Cleopatra style on a goddamn platform with like bare-chested dudes carrying her out. So it was like played to the hilt. And so it was basically a battle of the sexes where, is this woman better than this man? And she beats him, which is like this huge thing in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And so it's about, 20, 30 years? No, it's got to be longer than that. 40-year anniversary or something's coming up. And it actually came out that they accused the guy of throwing the tennis match to pay off mafia gambling debts.
Yeah!
So he basically threw the tennis match, one of the biggest tennis matches in the history of the world, allegedly. Of course, Billie Jean King thinks that's preposterous.
What, that it was the biggest tennis match ever?
No, that it was rigged.
Oh.
So I just thought that was interesting. I can't believe you didn't hear about that. I thought that would be interesting news to you. But no, with the blank stare you give me, moving on.
I could care less about a 40-year-old tennis match.
Yeah, but it was just kind of funny. Battle of the sexes. All this woo hoopla, and then all of a sudden rigged. Just like everything in this country.
Huh? They made a movie about that. It's called Man on the Moon. Andy Kaufman wrestling chicks.
Touche. Touche.
So I was another weird thing that came across that I thought. Did you see this ad? That
Oh yeah, the Adolf Hitler fucking. Oh, that's
the Mercedes,
fucking hilarious.
the student ad from Germany.
Oh, the best part about it is,
Awesome.
well, first time
We should probably explain to people what
Yeah.
this ad is. So, basically, a German film student or students produced, because I guess they're doing a project that's sponsored by Mercedes.
Yeah, it was a short film festival.
Yeah. So they made this little commercial for the Mercedes, the new Mercedes. I can't remember exactly which one it is. Probably says in the article. Class C Mercedes-Benz. And I guess the whole, it's the same kind of car, like, that they controlled and blew up Michael Hastings. But never mind. And then, so it's, got all this technology where it'll stop for you or
I love
swerve.
that. It's so smart it makes the decision is what they're...
So it shows this, the Mercedes cruising through this, like, old-timey village way back, probably in the 1910s or 1900s, probably, somewhere around that period piece, just cruising through, and then all of a sudden he gets to the spot and his car automatically stops because there's, like, two little German girls standing in the road. And so then they get moved aside. Then all of a sudden he just goes tearing through, and then this little boy is there, and then all of a sudden it flashes for like a second Hitler's face.
Yeah.
To basically be like, this kid's Hitler. And then boom, nails him. And like the mom's like, oh, Adolf! And my favorite part of the whole thing is, of course, the tagline where it detects oncoming dangers.
Yeah.
But then, did you notice the boy? When he was dead, he was laid out like a swastika.
Yeah.
Just all twisted up like a swastika. I'm like, fucking brilliant. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't Daimler and Mercedes want to co-op this and say, this is badass?
Because I think Mercedes-Benz doesn't want to have anything to do with Hitler ever again.
Exactly.
They were like, shut up, somebody's going to look into our past.
We're fucking Hitler Nazi sled.
It's just like Porsche.
And the Volkswagen.
Yep.
Isn't that literally translated to like the people's car or some shit like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know.
Volkswagen.
That one was made by Hitler, and then the engineer from Volkswagen actually branched out and made Porsche.
Nah.
He named Porsche after his
Nazi
his
daughter.
first daughter. So
Porsche did
Hitler
awesome.
had a lot of influence on automobiles.
He had a lot of influence on aviation, on, what is it? What am I trying to go for? Rocket science.
Yeah. Yep.
Those Nazis, man, they were let to thrive and flourish, and then we stole all their good scientists.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they really did have a lot of good scientists, but once again, they made a really bad error when they were like, Japanese, what you guys should do is fuck with the Americans.
Yeah.
Because that was about the point when the world really realized, this isn't just a fluke. These guys are really good at killing people. They might not be the biggest, the smartest, but they are damn good at killing people.
That's something they perfected.
Yeah. So, and it's tested throughout our history. I mean, when we defeated the English, they were supposed to be the shit of the shit, you know what I mean? They were supposed to be the army that couldn't be defeated, and all of a sudden this ragtag bunch of fucking hillbillies kills them. And since that moment, apparently we were the badasses, but nobody believed it until after World War II, and then they were finally like, shit, you know what? We can't fuck with everybody and those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just, we continue to be the best in the world at killing people.
The Germans or the America now? Both.
Americans.
America. Well, you're German and American, so that's why I was confused. I didn't know which side was taking over.
No, I'm not. I'm American. I'm not German. I might have a German ancestry.
You're a German American.
Fuck you, I am.
Just like I'm
I hate when people
everything
say that,
I
like,
don't know.
African American. Why, are you from Africa? Because I don't detect any kind of, well, no, but I'm black. Well, then you're a black American.
or you're just an American
Yeah.
that can withstand a little more sun.
I don't think that's accurate right there. Black people get sunburned too, Jake.
No way, they're
Well, I
black.
just figured they always created their own shade.
They're black. It bounces right off them. That's fucking science. No, I'm just kidding. Complete opposite. Sorry, I just wanted to perpetuate the ignorance here.
I just think it's funny that people have to do that kind of shit. You're Chinese American or Asian American or whatever. No, you're fucking American. If you got a citizenship, you're an American.
So that's what why do you have to differentiate yourself from that? I mean, I can see why the people of color do, because they're colored. They look different. But, like, for the white people that are, like, German American or Italian American, it's like, why? You're just a different shade of vanilla.
No, it's like, I've known a lot of Indians that hate the term Native American.
What do they prefer?
American?
OGs?
Yeah. I'm OA.
Yeah, original Americans.
OSA, old school American. No, they just like American or Indian.
Or you're just who you are.
Yeah, feather, not the
Be
dot.
happy who you are. It's the moral of the story.
It's fucking ridiculous. That's just, it's another way to try to, like you said, differentiate people that shouldn't be differentiated.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just another wedge to drive through society to make them fight amongst each other.
Oh, and have they...
That's our word. You can't say that. Like, that's another, that's what it does. When you start making people have those little wedges in there because of the differential of their skin, they'll still fight over that instead of being like, wow, those guys are really fucking everybody.
That's just the MO for any ruling class, because before that it was, fuck it, you're Irish. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I really don't feel too bad, like, around our area for, the Somali population. It's like, dude, it's just your fucking turn. I'm sorry. It sucks to be the new immigrant, but in 10, 15 years, there'll be some other destitute country that we decide to go blow up and create refugees, and then you can come over here, and we'll persecute you. But until then, Somalis, just deal with it. That was extremely harsh, what I just said, but I don't care.
Well, it all comes down to the whole factor of how well people want, or how willing, I should say, people are to assimilate to the rules and traditions of the society that they come to. I think it's kind of strange in America where people that have lived here their entire lives actually have to change a lifestyle habit or something in their lifestyle because of a different group that comes in. And I'm all for freedom of, whatever you want to do. But when it starts infringing on everybody else's because it's a belief or a system that you have, like how they take out bathrooms to make feet washing stations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see... I completely understand why a lot of people get pissed off about that kind of stuff.
Oh, me too.
Because it's almost as people come over and expect everybody to bend to their way of life instead of learning the way of life that's here.
I know that sounds incredibly xenophobic, but I agree with you 100%. And it's really hard to articulate
it
that
really
without
is.
sounding like a
without being like, oh God, I want to fucking punch you.
Because it's just like you said, I didn't go to your country. I don't need to worry about how you shit in a hole and wash your feet.
Mm-hmm.
If I moved to your country, that's something I would have to assimilate to. So why can't the opposite be true for you?
Yeah. I wear sandals a lot in the summer, and I don't have to wash my feet every time I go into a building. I'll do that at the end of the day, thank you.
Exactly. But to me, especially when it comes like around here, just because we have such an influx of Somalis and stuff like that in this particular region, I look at it as more or less a systemic plot against America. Is I truly think what they're trying to do is they're opening up all these aid routes and for people to come here, and we just give them all this free money, because what we're doing then is implanting people that are used to being under a dictatorship in America that are completely reliant on the federal government for their survival, and then you just created a voting bloc that will vote away voluntarily all the rights that Americans have had since the inception of this country. And I think that's a systemic issue, is to bankrupt this country and then get everybody involved into the welfare state. And by opening the borders and bringing and encouraging all these people to do that, I think it's really an attack on the way our country is set up, personally.
So you think this new immigration reform that they're talking about is basically just that plot to start?
Yep. Basically,
Interesting.
what they're doing is they're just bringing people here that'll vote away all of our rights, vote away our Second Amendment, and then be completely on the government dole and basically come from socialist type areas and dictatorships. So they don't know what freedom is. They don't really want freedom.
See, and I have like an idea that it's a dubious plan, but not nearly as dubious as yours.
My plans are always dubious.
The reason that I think they're actually bringing them in is it kind of takes the focus away of how many people we kill every year. Like when you look at some of the other countries and you're just like, wow, you guys killed that many people last year? Well, yeah, but we also took in over 2 million refugees and... that was pretty good of us.
Yeah, don't count the illegals that we just let come in too, man.
Not only doing that kind of stuff, but then it spurs the fight between actual, citizens in general.
Yeah.
So now you're once again causing the fight to be in the streets and out on the door of, your local congressman, or they're not at the state capitol because they're fighting in the other streets. So in my idea, it's all about PR on the one end, as well as keeping the masses not pointing the finger at the politicians, but pointing it at each other. And I think after a while, the politicians were looking at it going, oh, fuck. Okay, we've done the Democrat-Republican thing for a bunch of years. Then we started on the whole religious thing, like the fucking abortion and gay marriage. And now we're losing on that. What do we do next? Oh, got it. Let's mix a bunch of people that we know they're going to hate, and then they'll start fighting with those guys, and then they're not going to pay attention to us again.
So basically creating another wedge issue.
Yeah, that's the complete understanding that I have of it, is on the one end, like I said, it's the PR. Well, you killed 1.5 million people. Yes, but we saved 2 million. And then the other point of just, and we have our people fighting, so they're not caring about what we're doing. Because then all I got to do is stand up at a podium and go, we need to get these people down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then those people shut up, and the other people that are actually here are going, oh my God, they might kick us out. Maybe we should shut up. So then everybody shuts up about the politician.
Yeah.
And they start fighting amongst each other again. That's the way I look at it anyway. I don't think it's a dubious plan the way that you do. I think that everything that happens in that instance is basically a politician saving a politician's job. I really do. I think that politicians are to the point right now where they understand they don't have to do a damn thing at their own job. All they got to do is keep the people pissed off enough to keep yelling at the rallies that they're at, to keep voting for those assholes to get back in power, because now they're starting to use the mantras and the chants and all that shit of, well, I've been here for 20 years fighting for you guys, and if you don't vote me back in, you're going to get some young buck that doesn't know what he's doing, has no connections, and not going to be able to get anything done, like Obama. And that just gets the fucking votes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're just shoveling in people that you know are going to piss those people off. So they never see your voting records. They never notice what you actually did. And now they're even taking it a step further, doing that whole thing of sealed records for 50 years on the way that they vote.
That's bullshit. That's
completely unconstitutional.
Yes.
That's the whole reason on why we have open voting information.
That's why you can watch
Yes.
them voting on fucking C-SPAN.
So you know that if they vote against your interest, you don't vote for them.
And then so you can actually pay attention to what they're trying to pull.
Yeah.
Because my grandpa Jelinski said it best. He told me once when I was like, wee tyke, he goes, Jake, a man's life, liberty, and property are never safe as long as the legislature is in session.
Huh?
So always pay attention to what them cocksuckers are doing.
And I truly believe that that's what their plan is now, is as long as they can... Look at this over here.
Yep, jingle the keys.
Yeah, as long as they keep the attention to the one side, they can abracadabra everything they want on this side.
And do you think that's what they're doing with the whole Syria aspect and Miley Cyrus's salacious dance at the VMAs on Sunday?
I kind of heard a little bit about
How
that.
the fuck couldn't you hear about that?
Well, I don't watch any kind of media. You should know that. I read all my media, and the worst part about it is the 4 media outlets that I check every single day.
Top story.
Yeah. On the 3 that and the BBC is actually one that I really get into just because the BBC doesn't seem to have the same kind of censorship that the United States has on theirs. And when I say censorship, I know that's an oxymoron with the rights that we have, apparently.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit that doesn't make the paper because one of the column editors is just like, whoa, no, sorry about that, but I'm going to get fired if that goes through. Well, why? Because, like, the two guys that you're talking about here are the owners of the company.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't fucking print the actual story. So I actually really subscribe to the BBC News. That's where they... I'm going to say it. They tell it how it is at the BBC. They literally fucking rain in on people.
I mean, well, they tell more of the American dirt because they're not Americans.
Yeah.
But they should whitewash the shit out of their own.
Oh, I could give a fuck what happens to theirs. But, yeah, the shit that they talk about on ours, it's so much. And the worst part about it is that's always the last one I check because, like I just said, the other three, you can basically skim through them.
Yeah.
And... the funny part about looking at all four of them is the BBC News, when they talk about a lot of the really cool shit that I really like to pay attention to, that wasn't even the bottom stories of the other ones, like the USA Today and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's hilarious on how BBC's still covering the Horizon platform. Like, they're still covering how BP is paying for this and how Halliburton's paying for this and how they're still in court sessions over this whole thing that happened how long ago?
Yeah.
And BBC is still covering this shit where you never hear anything about it in the United States anymore. Shit, that happened how long ago is what we say.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that.
Shit, there wasn't another one that did it by now?
We've had 4 Mardi Gras since then, son.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So, I mean... I fucking saw it on the BBC when they in their entertainment, and I was just going, okay, I gotta read some of this because if it's in every single one of them, she must have done something like had a wardrobe malfunction, or you know. And then when I read that all she did was wear a flesh-colored bikini and grind on a dude, I was like, well, she's a whore. Who cares?
That's to be expected.
I mean, seriously, she's a fucking Disney chick that all of a sudden everybody went, oh my god, she's so cute. Of course she's going to be a fucking whore.
What creeped me out the most when I watched it was when she first got on. Did you watch the video at all?
No.
Okay. Well, when she like makes her entrance, she's in a giant like robot teddy bear thing. And it like opens up and she comes out and she's got these weird little buns on the top of her head that... to anybody, me instantly, I'm like, and then it looks like fucking devil horns she's mimicking. And then she comes out, sticks her head out, and like lings her tongue out, like all satanic style, and then like walks out all weird demon. And I'm like, is this a fucking satanic ritual going on the VMAs? And then she just goes into her whore act. But at first, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And so I'm assuming the little things on her head probably were the guys they were given were like teddy bear ears, because like her whole mantra of the whole thing was teddy bears. And then
so if it was teddy bears, how did she get like naked bikini grinded on
when she did her song? It was the whole teddy bear theme, and she was like twerking, and she stuck her face in some huge
I don't know what
ass.
the fuck twerking is. What the hell is twerking?
It's like booty shaking, like spastic.
So basically, twerking is grinding now, or what?
Well, no, it's more. It's hard for me to explain. It's basically where girls get like really low on the ground, and start shaking their ass, like making it bounce and like rhythmic things, and then like doing herky jerky moves. That's what I'm describing it like I'm a fucking 80-year-old dude.
Yeah, you do.
But basically, that's
that hibbity jibbity.
I know. So basically, she was doing that, and like one part I thought was fucked up is there was like this 6.5 foot tall giant black woman on stage, and then Miley Cyrus comes up behind her, like sticks her head in her fucking giant ass, like motorboats her butt cheeks, and I'm like, what?
And it's a real woman?
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then so she does her little bit, and then that Robin Thicke, have you heard that Blurred Lines song? It's like one of the hottest songs. It has that really sweet video with him and Pharrell and just those two chicks that are topless the entire video. You never saw that?
Uh-uh.
Oh man. But never mind. He comes out.
Are you kidding me? You know I don't fucking...
I know. But
don't even know what twerking was.
Once again, like talking to my grandfather.
Yeah, exactly.
But so he comes out and does his song, and that's when she strips down and
Okay.
then starts like has his giant foam fingers like running it up his.
I heard
crotch.
that one too because there was,
Dude, it was
one of
fucked.
the things that was funny is they went through a couple of people's tweets that they had about it, and somebody did something like I'll never look at a giant foam finger the same way, or what was that? That's why they only have one finger sticking out so you can gag yourself with it. Like, there was a bunch of funny tweets.
I saw Bill Maher's tweet. He's like, I haven't been to a strip club in years, but I'm glad nothing's changed.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
It depends. I mean, so I honestly think that's like maybe a huge distraction why the media has jumped on this because it's pretty fucking mundane. But I think they really jumped on it just because to draw the national eye away from us just going in and bombing Syria with 9% of American support. Congress has a higher approval rating than the Syrian war.
Before we start something on that
Yeah.
one, I had to say this one because I just thought of the one tweet that I was thinking
Yeah.
of. I can't remember who sent it, but it was something about, I feel sorry for the youth today. Molly, and then they had Cy as in Sigh, Cyrus.
That is great. And the worst part is before we started recording, I just brought up Yahoo to check my email, and the first story on the splash page of Yahoo News is how Miley Cyrus's twerking is actually good for you.
Oh, did I say Molly? It's Miley?
Yeah, Miley.
Okay.
So it's like it's actually good for you because of all the calories you burn from twerking. And I'm like, fucking really? You go from 2 days ago, or yesterday
How
morning.
dare you,
so
young
this
lady.
is the most offensive thing in the world. To then all of a sudden being like, "Well, this is actually healthy. All you young ladies need to start twerking."
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm gonna say is, kids these days got it made. Boys, oh my god, because this whole slut era was just coming into fruition when we got out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
And could you?
Dude, the
it's
first
like
time I
easy
heard of
pickings
a
these
lipstick
days.
party,
Yeah, we talked about that before on the podcast.
I was so mad.
That's good.
So mad.
So mad. See, this whole, it's just like,
I'm still a little bitter. I'm just give me a minute here.
yeah, I what hurts me is as I get older, I almost feel like those Puritan Christians that I'm just like, there's no need for this.
I don't.
And
I feel like, holy shit, where was this when I was growing up? God, I remember the good old days where you actually had to beg, borrow, and steal stuff just to get a blowjob, and now they go to a party to get them. And not only one, they're just like, yeah, I got 6 tonight, I'm almost out of sauce. You know, like,
yeah,
how the shit does that happen? I had to work my ass off for a girl to touch my penis.
and now the girls are upset if you're just not a whore. Or
Yeah.
do you think it's really like that, or do you just think that's like the media portraying it to be like that? Just kind of like how shark attacks aren't that prevalent, but media hypes it up, and so everybody thinks it's dangerous.
No.
Do you think it is that
I know
slutty?
I know for a fact that, well, all you gotta do is look at fucking teenage pregnancies and how they've been up on the rise ever
Yeah.
since, well, basically the 60s.
I was gonna say since Teen Mom 2.
I have no fucking clue what Teen Mom 2 is.
Oh my god!
Why do you keep thinking
Giving
that
you
I
pop
know?
culture
Yeah,
references.
that's what I'm saying. Why do you think I know anything cool?
Well, Teen Mom 2. Basically,
The name says it all, man. You don't need to explain it to me.
no, but what it is it's actually.
I don't know where the 2 comes from. No.
Well, what's funny is because they started out as 16 and pregnant, and they do a documentary.
I've heard
about-
that referenced before.
Yeah,
That's
they-
like an MTV show,
Yeah,
isn't
they
it?
do a
Okay.
documentary about this group of girls that are 16 and pregnant, and then the next series is when they actually have the child.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, who was that? There was a chick that just got like $1 million for making a porn that was on one of those.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before on a different pod.
Yeah.
Where it first came out.
Well, no, the Octomom did that, but I just
No,
heard.
the Teen Mom did it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I just heard something about another one of the MTV chicks
Yeah.
did something like that where they, because it's the same company that did the Octomom thing.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's some sick fucks out there.
You never watched that?
What?
The Octomom porn?
No. I'm pretty sure that's pretty flabby and like Seriously, it's like a windsock by now. It's gotta be. Don't she have like 12 kids or something?
It looks like a loose roast beef sandwich
Oh, yeah, that's
between her legs. Oh, that shit, that was
Who
disgusting.
took a carving knife to that shit? They need some practice.
That is terrible.
Terrible.
Absolutely terrible. So, you know what?
We need to have like a puke bucket next to us
know.
next time.
I was just going to go into fucked up Floridian news, but it's not. My story is not much better on the vein of what we were just talking about.
Hey, my story wasn't bad.
No, but I'm.
Before we go any further on that one, I want to clarify. I don't mean that my story wasn't bad. Like I condone what the guy was doing. I'm saying it wasn't like roast beef crotch or anything like that.
So what was the guy doing?
Okay, I gotta pull this up. Basically, I'll give you a little backstory before I actually get into it because I can't remember the dude's name or anything like that. Basically, what it was is a guy in Florida just grabbed this chick in a Best Buy, pulled her into the bathroom, and started beating the shit out of her.
Just some random chick?
Yeah, like when the girl was asked, she said that she had no clue who the guy was. He basically just grabbed the chick, and then what was it? Let's see here. No, they still don't have his name? No, they do.
Oh, okay.
James Tadros, who is 29 years
Tadros?
old. Yeah. Florida man has been charged with attempted murder stemming from the beating of a 9-year-old girl in a Best Buy. Basically what it was, let's see here. They're charging him with attempted murder, false imprisonment, and criminal mischief.
Damn.
It just sounds so stupid. What are you in for? Criminal mischief.
And how old is this girl?
She was 9 years old. A witness heard screams coming from the bathroom Friday and told officers they found Tadros beating the girl, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. The witness called Best Buy employees for assistance. The witness told officers she heard screaming and crying coming from the restroom and called for help from store employees. A store employee looked under the stall and reported seeing Tadros holding the young girl upside down with the child's head in the toilet. When Tadros let the girl go, the reporter says the girl crawled under the door and to another stall, and an employee helped her out of the bathroom. Store employees then held Tadros in the restroom until authorities arrived and released... Oh.
And what?
The release detailed. And, yeah, basically... the suspect allegedly vandalized the police interview room while waiting for officers. That's what it said, and I think that was funny, too.
I just want to stop here.
That's all the story was so far.
Okay, good. Well, so, what I'm having a hard time wrapping my head up, so the dude's beating this girl,
Yes.
tries to strangle her with, like, a bag,
Yeah, he threw a plastic bag over her head.
and then dunks her, and then tries to give her a swirly to boot.
I guess.
And then, so this was happening in a female bathroom?
And I think it was the men's room, but
It better not have been if that motherfucking Best Buy patron just hears screaming like that and just goes, I need to ask for assistance. All I'm saying is if I was in that Best Buy and I walked in and saw that shit happening, motherfucker would be in a hurt.
well, no, it doesn't say that the person walked in the bathroom. They said that they heard the screams coming from the bathroom, so they called an employee to be like, there's something happening in your bathroom. So they didn't go in the bathroom. It doesn't.
What happened to the vigilantes?
Yeah, it doesn't say the witness went into the bathroom. They just heard the screaming and was like, you need to check that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that if it was any man worth his medal and you heard girls screaming in the stall next to you.
A 9-year-old girl is a pretty distinctive
And
scream.
it's not going to be the same kind of scream that where, every guy is imagined happening in a bathroom. So, I mean, it's not that really cool porn type scream.
And it's a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So that's just fucked.
Oh, dude, I wasn't implying that it's a porn scream with a 9-year-old girl. I'm just saying.
Of course not. I wasn't implying that either, but I'm just like, what the...
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on there, but I could understand that if some guy walked in there, that dude would be the shit knocked out of
Because,
him.
yeah, when you're just reading the story, I'm like,
And if you're so
How do you,
if
like-
you're so fucking small that you got to grab a 9-year-old girl to beat her up because that's going to make you feel
Yeah.
big, yeah, you're going to be a little pathetic fuck. So I don't know how they might have left some stuff out, and they're like the Best Buy employee just beat the piss out of him, or that's why he was still in the bathroom because he knocked him out. Or
Hopefully, fucking hopefully. Because how do you diffuse? Because what did it say that she like the one of the employees kind of made, she got away or something and scurried under one of the booths?
Basically, what I've gotten from this the story that I read here, and then my fucking nose itches, and then a couple of the other versions from other places is that 2 employees went into the bathroom and they started pounding on the door. Well, the guy got a little fucking nervous, and he kind of, woo, probably. And
I'm not doing nothing.
he lost his grip on the girl. She dropped to the floor and actually went underneath the stall to a couple stalls over. And then one of the employees opened the door to that stall and, took her out of the bathroom. And then after that, they just locked the bathroom and wouldn't allow him to leave until police came.
See,
I would love to be locked inside that bathroom with him.
Oh my god.
I would close that door, lock it, and be like, until the cops get here, you do not open this door no matter what you hear on this side. They come in and there's like those fucking fingernails on the tiles. Like, no. He was going to leave. I had to hold him here. Then he attacked me.
I had to detain this man.
Yeah, like the shit where you're looking at it going, shit, it's been like 5 minutes. I should probably punch myself or hit myself with something and just be like, yeah, he attacked me.
Yeah.
I had to do what I needed to do.
God, that's fucked up. That is some fucked up Floridian news.
That's what I'm saying. Only in Florida does shit like that happen, it seems.
That's kind of. I think mine's a little more disgusting, but a little more on a lighter note. Yours was kind of sad. 9-year-old
It
girl.
was. It came with a good ending, though, because,
That is true.
a sick fuck like that, if he actually had time or if he had an idea or a thought process instead of just, I'm going to beat her up now, he would have been one of those douchebags that, like, went out and fucking kidnapped a kid and then they found their body 6 days after they catch him. And
Sodomized.
yeah.
Ugh. All right, so my story, to try to lighten the mood a little bit, is took place in Fort Pierce, Florida. According to the article, a woman called the Fort Pierce cops after a man identified as Monax Alsaint hit her in the back with an empty beer bottle. Reports say,
Probably asking for another beer.
yeah, woman, give me a fucking beer. That doesn't describe their relationship, but I have a feeling she was just probably somebody walking by and he just pelted her with the bottle.
Prostitute.
Well, of course. And I guess the cop that was responding to the complaint and the woman that was allegedly assaulted,
John.
they go to the 68-year-old man. That's how old the
The
alleged...
dude that hit her with the bottle?
68 years old.
God, he's got good aim for
I
that
know.
age.
And she's 35. So she's a big target? I don't know. And...
I think you've at 65, you've earned the right to hit one fucking person half your age with a bottle. I think he gets a pass.
who knows? Maybe she deserved it.
That's
She
what I'm
was
saying.
talking shit.
Maybe she stepped on his lawn.
Fucking lawn. Yeah, my lawn, woman. How many times did I tell you?
Exactly.
Every morning, that
Yep.
motherfucking bitch is on my goddamn lawn, and it just
Where's
happens.
she shitting on it?
Yeah, exactly. Funny you should say that.
No way.
Because when the cop and the woman go to the man's apartment to confront him on this, guess how this man proceeds to welcome the police officer and the woman?
Did he shit off his deck?
No, he hurled a bucket of poop and urine at her, covering her whole upper body. I guess you could say he dung her wrong.
Oh, that was a bad pun.
Oh yeah, you know me. That's why they call me the big pun.
Oh my God.
I
How
guess-
disgusting.
And then I guess All Saint then tried to extend the cop the same crappy courtesy, where he tried to throw up and the cop dodged it.
Damn straight he did. You gotta get the cop first, because I'm pretty sure the chick's gonna be a little bit less on her toes.
Yeah, I agree. And he's lucky he didn't get his ass tased or shot the way
How do you
cops
not
tried-
tease the dude after that?
Because, first off, who's got buckets of fucking feces and urine just chilling there just in case?
Dude, he was saving for this.
Maybe he huffs it. You've never heard of that?
I've heard that with cat piss, but
There's people that actually like will huff the methane that comes off of feces. Jenkum, that's what it's called. It's called jenkum. A lot of like Africans.
Jenkum
do it.
style.
Dude, so that's how they do the horsey dance.
Yep.
Jenkum style. Dude, YouTube viral video. No legs down.
Huffing some shit.
Then all of a sudden, Jenkum style. Jenkum
Oh
style.
my god. Fucking crazy people in Florida. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Oh my god. All right, so I suppose we should round out the show with a hypothetical question for you. All right, so I got one for
Yes,
you.
I would have sex with Cindy Crawford. I know she's a little old, but
Dude, I just saw her on something last night. She was like doing an interview for something, and I was dumbfounded on how gorgeous she still was. It might have been an infomercial or something, but I'm like, holy fuck.
a nymphomercial.
Nymphomercial. Is that what I said?
I don't know. It kind of sounded like you did, and I was really hoping that she was on one of those. It just gives me hope.
So, all right, but to go back to the hypothetical question, Sam, if you could travel to any moment in time, past or future, and witness any one event as an invisible being, what would you witness and why? Future or past? That's a mighty fine question. You got to think about a lot of things. Like, do you want to see if and when the world ends and how it does? Or do you want to go back to see when it happened?
The restaurant at the end of the universe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if I can pick out any hypothetical future point that you're talking about there, I would want to see the first time that humans would have interaction with another another being, something alien to this world. The first time that they have an actual intellectual interaction with them. Whether it be they come and kill us or, we start shooting them, whatever it is. Just the first time that humans actually have an interaction with another being that's on purpose.
So that brings me to my next question. Do you believe that's in the future or the past?
That one I wouldn't know.
But good to speculate upon. Do you believe in the ancient alien theory?
No.
That's where all the Atlanteans and Mayans went, was they got abducted by Anunnaki?
The stupid bullshit of the with the people that are like, well, there has to be aliens, because how is it that Egypt built pyramids and Mayans built pyramids and Chinese people build pyramids?
Singular consciousness?
Let's put it to you this way. You can watch any kid with blocks, and the easiest shape to form the highest is a pyramid.
And it's the most structurally sound.
Exactly. So that question, if you're actually that kind of a person that goes, no, it had to be some kind of a communication that they had.
But how do you get it so precise?
Fuck. After years and years and years and years and years of build, these were the greatest monuments that these people have built. So you really think they're going to take that, the equivalency of that little fucking high schooler and be like, hey, build this? No, they're going to take the guy that's built the most shit, the best shit, and be like, this is your project, make it good.
So you subscribe to the theory like I do, where it's not so much as...
And not that singular fucking thought process bullshit. Fuck that.
Hey, but that's proven scientifically. Where they even do with crossword puzzles, where they had a core group of people take the same crossword puzzle for X
But it's
amount
the
of
same
days,
thing that I'm
and they
talking
gave them a
about.
day-old one, and they
it's
answered
not-
better
it's
because
not
the
a-
answers were out there.
But it's not the singular. No, it's
Why
bullshit
do
on that.
mathematical discoveries happen and pop up independent of each other all over the world at
Because
the
of
same
the
time?
fact, like I was saying, that once a civilization figures this out, they naturally progress and progress and progress.
But
And it's going to be the same everywhere that you go, because the laws of nature and the laws of physics don't bend on one continent.
Of course, but I'm talking about how do you unlock... Don't you believe that if one entity unlocks it into the social consciousness, that you can draw upon it if you're anybody?
No.
If you're open to it? Where do instincts come from then?
Instincts?
Yeah. Isn't that
We
drawing...
don't have near as many instincts as people think we do. We have reactions and we have actual...
Do you think that's nothing detached from ourselves? You just think that's a chemical reaction taking part in the reptilian brain? Is our natural basic instincts?
Our when you're talking about natural basic instincts, about the only natural basic instincts that we have are hunger, we have being tired, we have cold, hot, and then we have the other basic instincts like breathing, heart beating, things like that. Other than that, it's fight or flight.
Yeah.
And everything other than that in the human mind actually does happen because of a quick Rolodex that your mind does going, all right, I've never been in this situation before.
Just association.
Is A going to be B or is B going to be C? I mean...
Yeah, you just do a bunch of situational associations.
Yes.
To come up with
it has nothing to do with a mind collective. It doesn't... I mean, we're not the fucking Borg here. I'm just... It's just natural conclusion.
Yeah, but I want to bring it back to
everybody's brain is hardwired to a certain point of knowing a certain amount. I mean, you see something with sharp teeth coming at you, you generally run. That's just not something that.
How did you figure that out?
That was his natural. Because out of years of knowing, sharp teeth usually hurt.
Because the human experience has that pool of.
Yeah, whatever. The first time you get bit by something, you realize getting bit sucks.
I agree. But to bring it back to my original point is,
I don't have to have a shark attack to know it sucks just because somebody else went through it. I just look at that shark and go, that fucker looks like it could hurt.
Because Jaws trained you to know that. Yeah, but let me make my fucking point. My original point I was going to say I agree with you, and I'm of the same school of thought with you as I really think why people say aliens had to have done the pyramids in Egypt is because they do not give ancient civilizations credit to being that. People nowadays think this is the smartest we've ever been. I truly believe that's a bunch of bullshit. I think we're pretty fucking ignorant when it comes to how ancient civilizations used to live.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I don't think just because we can't do it with our technology doesn't mean they did not have technology that was much superior to ours.
And when they say, well, we couldn't do that with our tech, bullshit, we couldn't. We just don't want to because we're fucking lazy nowadays. There's a huge difference if you've got an entire army of slaves to do something for you rather than
having to pay people.
God damn it, I'm going to have to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck that. I hate when people say that shit. We couldn't do it with our technology. Really? We couldn't build a pyramid? Have you ever fucking seen Mount Rushmore, you douchebag?
That's pretty
We couldn't build a pyramid? Oh, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
Why are you on TV?
Especially with your crazy hair. That one dude on the Ancient Aliens.
Oh, Jesus. That guy is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, it's got to be an ancient civilization, and they had to take the Mayans, because where did the Mayans go?
Exactly.
Let's put it this way. They got smallpox and died. It happened.
That is true.
You fucking idiot.
Well, me personally, the moment of time...
I'm sorry, just to finish the question that you have, though, I would actually say that if aliens have come to the planet, it wasn't actually known, there hasn't been an interaction at this point. I'm still not under the impression that there's reptilians or anything like that walking around. So I would have to say that if you're going to ask me the question on would I think that's in future or past, I would say I believe that's in future.
Okay. Me personally, the moment I would want to go to, past or future, I think the most interesting moment in history I want to go back to the moment Joseph and Mary had to explain to Jesus where babies come from.
Or the moment that Mary was like, no, I swear.
Little baby Jesus, Mommy, where do babies come from? Well,
ask your father. Dad, no, not that one.
So that'd be mine.
Yeah, I would have rather seen when Mary had to come to Joseph and be like, okay, before you get mad.
See, what happened was an angel came down.
Yeah. No, I don't think aliens have actually come here yet because of the fact that I don't really think that they'd care to be secretive about it. If they have the technology to fly from another fucking solar system all the way here.
But they're not really secretive about it. Look at the crop circles.
Yeah,
Look at all the
whatever.
sightings and videotapes.
But I'm just saying, I don't think they would necessarily be like, no, we got to keep this on the hush. I think if they had the technology to come all the way here, they would look at us like bugs. And they would literally just be like, yeah, you guys can fly in your atmosphere and you can fucking go to the moon. Yay. We just came 300 light years away.
Yeah.
And you guys are fucking still doing transcontinental flights that are, falling out of the sky. You guys, whatever. Ooh, bullet train, fun. I don't think they would care about any of our technology. They wouldn't fucking be scared of us at all. And they wouldn't just be like, oh, let's take him and put something up his ass, because that's going to teach us a lot about this civilization.
Yeah.
Because if they had that much technology, don't you think that they would learn something a little bit more than just shoving something up our ass? That, to me, the whole thing of alien abductions and alien sightings and all this kind of... Really? You had to get the grainiest goddamn video camera you could possibly do and then tell me, no, you can see it right there. That's a fucking streak in the film.
That's a bug flying by it, really.
That's what I'm saying. I think if aliens did come here, I actually think, and thought this a long time before I heard Stephen Hawking's idea of it would be like when Columbus came over to the New World. We'd be the Native Americans, and it didn't work so well for them. There's not a reason that somebody would just be like, what should we do today? I got it. Let's load everybody up in the spaceship and just go. Well, what are we going to do? I don't know. I'm really not sure. We're just going to go.
We're just going to go.
Like, it's not a fucking galactic road trip or anything, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, man, look at that, there's somebody there, let's pick them up. I mean, it doesn't make any sense that shit would happen.
Is he going to be incoherent on the local news when we bring him back? All right, come on, bring him in.
Exactly. I look at it and say, if you're going to spend all that time and resource, you're going to get something for your buck. Nobody goes all the way to another area like that without wanting something. And I don't think that if they had the kind of technology that they have to get from one side to another, that they would really care about discovering anything on this planet. Yeah. In fact, if you look at it, there's two resources that, in our chemical makeup anyway, that would make Earth a prime target for something else that would want, and that would be oxygen and water.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, this planet would be amazing for another carbon-based life form that needs water.
How about our ability to create reality? Wouldn't they need us for that?
So we're like a TV show?
No. No, like the whole Buddhist field of infinite possibilities, quantum physics, where you project your own reality, where holograms, what we see in front of us, can best be described as a holodeck.
If they were in the same type of life form that we are, which they would be because they'd be in the same universe, then they would have the same advantage of doing the same thing.
But what if they're of a different density, so they're not even within our same universe, and they're not...
Well, then we wouldn't have to worry about them.
But they can come in between. They got that kind of technology, son.
Sons of bitches.
See, a great theory I heard about what crop circles were, and I loved it, was crop circles are basically the footprint that is left by entity or a creature from a different dimension passing through our dimension to a different one. Does it blow your mind?
No.
Okay. All right, and with that...
Made me giggle a little.
Okay, and I think with that, we should end the show.
That wasn't a good ending point.
Not at all, but it just kind of...
Penis. You gotta end with a laugh, man.
That is true. But I was just saying it was a pretty good stalling point, and we're a good, hour and a half into it.
That is true.
Might as well wrap it up for this episode of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair.
Don't want to bore them too much.
Exactly, hour and a half. Who's
got the time?
I don't know. Once again, this is Jake Zielinski.
Sam Regnick.
Come the revolution.